let's do something with this fun. Yeah, I got a cool idea for this, and if you don't know, Camaro is my favorite vehicle. Some people like Mustangs, some people like Ferraris, whatever, you know, to each their own. But I recently did a video on how Hot Wheels are made, and a lot of people really liked it, and it got me to thinking that I really want something. You know, I've got this, let me show you. I've got this, you know, plastic case and all that stuff. Got the back, says Chevrolet IROC Z, you know, all that cool stuff. So that gave me the idea for this project. And what I'm going to do, I have a larger display, right? And I'm going to take 2 of these cars and make a display on how Hot Wheels are made in old Man Diecast fashion. So let's get to it. Alright, first thing we're going to need is a couple of Camaros. 2 sacrificial lambs. And me being a Camaro collector, I've got plenty of them. But I wanted to do the IROC one because I really like the 3rd gen, which is what an IROC is. 3rd generation Camaro. So we got one that's going to be a sacrificial lamb, and it's going to go to the old Man Diecast body shop, and we're going to have some fun with it. So first thing I need to do is we're just going to set this one to the side for now and come back to it. We'll take it out of the pack and everything and save everything. I'll show you how to do that in the video, but I also have a video on how to remove them from the packs without damaging anything. But with that stated, we're going to disassemble this one. We need it stripped, we need it taken completely apart. So let's do that. Alright, got my tray so that it catches all the shavings. Let's get my tray bits over here. I see a shaving line right there. And no matter how careful you are, you always have these because the drill bits will fling them off. And I have an extra one for leftover parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a drop of oil, because number one, it helps keep the drill bit cool, and it gives lubrication for the drill bit to do its cutting process. Then we're going to take our small drill bit, which is about a 1/16 of an inch or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'm going to put it almost all the way in because I like for mine, because if you leave it sticking all the way out, you're going to break it. Eventually you're going to break that puppy. Now we're just going to drill down into her real slow. Drill down into it until we think we're deep enough to get past the head of the post. Flip her around to the other side. Once we get far enough, we're going to switch bits. And then typically it just takes a round or two, and this bad boy will come apart. Because all you're doing is knocking the head off of that post. And see right there, it flung that shaving slam out of there. No matter how careful you try to be, it happens. And like that, comes right apart. So make sure there's no shavings on there. Take all that. We're not going to do anything with this. We're not going to do anything with that. We're almost done with this. But what we have to do is we have to drill this down far enough so that we can put screws in it. But since we're not going to be actually putting it back together. We don't have to, but I'm going to for future, because someday I might want to put this car back together for whatever reason. So while we're in this step, let's go ahead and do it. Put another drop of oil on it. Because where it's going, oil isn't going to matter anyway. Now we're going to drill this out deep enough to put a screw in it. Think you get it deep enough? Turn it around. Let me get a rag, man. I'm getting stuff everywhere. Get a rag, wipe my hands off. Spin around to the other side. And when you think you get it deep enough, you're going to check it and see. Take a screw. That one is all the way in, exactly like we want. That one needs to go a little bit more. Now we recheck it. And there she is, that's in. I'm not going to worry about putting the screws in it right now. When we get it stripped, and yes, we're taking this all the way down to the bare metal. Once we get it stripped, then I will put the screws in it for prosperity's sakes, because like I said, this is, if it ever gets put back together, it's going to be a while. Alright, now we've got that. Now, it's been running here for a couple weeks off and on for several days. Honestly, about 7 days out of the week. It's been raining for about 5 days of that week. So, ground here in North Carolina gets just like quicksand. So, we're going to drop this bad boy into the North Carolina red clay. I already have one thing in there, but it shouldn't affect this at all. So, we're just going to drop this in. And just that quickly, that's how fast our cars here in North Carolina will sync up in that red clay. It's always so satisfying to watch that go down. But we're going to leave this in here till tomorrow. Then we'll come back and pull it out. We'll take it and wash it with some warm soapy water. And that should be that, because that's about all she needs. Put screws in it. And you'll see my rhyme and reason when we get that far. But it's going to be really cool. You may want to do one just like it, you know, of your favorite car. That's why I'm putting this video out there, because, you know, we all really like a particular model. We all really like a particular car. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I don't want to give the end reveal away just yet. I want you to watch it to the end. And trust me, you'll be wanting to do one yourself. And all it costs is 2 cars and the display and a little bit of time. But as we say goodbye to that car, adios amigos, sayonara, see you later, hasta luego, all that good stuff. And I really love the citrus strip. It doesn't have any harsh smells or anything. You can put the lid on it, stick it in a drawer, stick it on your shelf, whatever, and leave it. It's not going to make your house smell, your apartment smell, whatever. And as you can see, the car's gone. So now all we got to do is put the top on it. And I actually put mine back in my drawer where I keep all my tools and everything. And that takes care of that. Now we got to do something with this base. Now I'm not going to be doing anything with this base. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave 2 wheels on it or take all 4 of them off. Let's start with just the front. All you got to do with these is just basically just take something and push this tab over right here. You got 3 tabs that holds that on. All you got to do is take it and push one of them over, and then typically the wheel, the axle, will come right out. See how it's already wanting to come out? Once you get it like that, you can just take a small screwdriver or whatever and stick under it, and it pops right out. Now if you're going to do a wheel swap or something like that, you'd want to get rid of these. You'd want to grind those off, cut them off, whatever. You can take a small pair of hobby pliers and get in there and cut all that off. Or even a X-Acto knife. You can get in there and kind of angle it and then cut it right off. I mean, it's just plastic, comes right off. But what do I want to do? Because we're going to have this, we're going to have the window, we're going to have this. And that's what goes into a lot of this is thought process. What exactly are you wanting to do? Let's see, I want something like that. The wheels, the interior, the glass. Okay, yeah. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Now what I'll probably do is, since this is going to be sitting just like so, I believe what I am going to do is detail a little bit. It doesn't have any back seats because a cop car doesn't have back seats. They just have those hard liners in there. So what I'll probably do is paint the 2 front seats and the steering wheel and maybe the gear shift, and of course the hood vents. The hood vents, the hood louvers have to be painted. That's mandatory. So we'll do some detail work when that time comes along. So we're going to put everything in there together so it stays together. Close it up. And that's it for today. We're going to come back tomorrow after the citrus strip does its job and pick up there. See you then. Oh, and look, the wreckers are here to pick up 2 other projects. Oh boy. Now truth be told, the car has been in there for 2 days. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days. And the reason for it is I've just been so busy doing other things, I just haven't had time. I mean, truth be told, you know. And plus it gives me a great chance to show you that leaving something in for that amount of time does not hurt it. So I'm going to dig around in here and see what we can find. I feel it already right there. Brush off all the excess that we can, and you can just see that paint coming right off of there. I mean, it just falls off. That's why I like the citrus strip so good. No matter how long I leave it in there, how the paint is or anything like that, I know that I can just take it right off. But we're going to rake the excess back in there. No need wasting stuff, you know. And we'll take it into the sink and we'll wash it with warm soapy water and come back and see what we have. As you can see, it's all gone. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This stuff works wonders. It doesn't leave a bad smell. And I know I brag about it every time I use it, but it just works so good. No bad smell, no nothing. Not that expensive, but why waste it if you don't have to? Alright, now this, just in the citrus strip, you know, I left it in there 2 days, like I said. I really didn't have a chance to get them out. And no picks, no brushes, no nothing. Although if you have some stubborn paint and cracks and crevices, tail lights, whatever, headlights, you can use a brush. All I used was this old cheap brush out of a tin for like $1 from the dollar store and just did it like that, and it came right off. I could get in there with picks and stuff and work on that joker all day, but as you can see, there's really no need. There's no paint left over anywhere. That thing looks great. It is good to go. Look at that, just like when it come out of the factory. And we'll put it in here with the rest of the parts for the Camaro. It actually looks pretty cool like that. Just sit there and clear coat it, and that would be a cool car just like it is. I mean, look at that. Of course, you'd have to put the windshield and interior back in it, but you get the point. Look how cool that would look. Paint that black, paint tail lights red, and be done with it, clear coat it. That actually looked pretty dang cool. But that's not what we're going for in this video. It's a whole separate different video. We're going to put that up till next time so I don't lose anything. Alright, let's get back to this and back to this. So here's the plan. Alright, like I said, we're going to take this. This is going to be our so-called diorama. And I'm opening this up because I need a measurement. There we go. Alright, and of course this one's cracked. But that'll be okay. You'll never really see it per se. It'll be on the back corner. But what I'm going to do is I have some black foam board. Plus I don't have the receipt for it. I've had this for a couple weeks now. I pulled it out and looked at it and I thought I had checked it, but oh well. That's going to be covered and you'll never really see the back, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I've got some black foam board that I'm going to put on the bottom. Then on the back, I'm going to have some white foam board on the back that I don't know, I'm either going to put my channel name, Old Man Diecast Body Shop, or the Chevrolet emblem, Old Man Diecast Paint and Body, something along those lines. I don't know yet. Haven't figured that part out. But the base is going to be black, so we got to get a measurement for all that. Then the car is going to be on here something like this, right? Everything's going to be hot glued in place. Alright? Something along that line. And then I have these to make it look like an official paint and body shop or custom shop. Got some tires in there. I don't know if I'll put them or not. Don't know yet. I may use that rack if those tires are removable. I don't know. I haven't taken it apart. If they are removable, I may take them out and put those in their place. And I'll probably paint something, you know, here or there, because I'm not really crazy about the paint scheme, the blue and all that. You know, most of my tool boxes and stuff are red, so probably leave the jack. I'll put it up under the front of the car to lift it up a little bit. The roll around tool card I'll probably put over here next to, you know what I'm saying, shop light over here shining back. But that's the plan. Thank God for the 40% off coupon. Look at that. Holy moly. Just look at that. But they no longer have that. So now you have to wait on them to actually have sales, which they have all the time. But that's the plan. Now you know the madness in my mind. And I'm going to have the finished car right here. As a matter of fact, we're going to take this one out of the pack real quick and stick it on here. Slide this out of the way so I don't get any of this on anything. And just so you know my madness, and I don't want to mess up the card unless I can help it, because I normally save my blisters, because you can put paint and mix paint up in these things for your airbrush or for paintbrush, you know, and sit there and dab it in there and paint, whatever. These things have so many uses, plus the card art is really cool. I might actually get me a frame and put some of these in it when I get enough of them. But long story short, if you've never watched any of my videos, here's how you get these out of the packs without messing them up. We're going to take this one completely off. So what we have to do is we have to kind of eyeball where that is. It's busting right between the Mattel and the recycled cardboard. So you're just going to take a brush and liberally just paint it on there. You can do this if you want to reuse the cardboard pack. You can do this if you want to put the card back in the blister pack. Go all the way to the edges, because what will happen is if the edge isn't sealed or painted, so it helps seep in there a lot quicker. Just get it nice and wet. You can't hurt anything by doing this. It won't hurt the paint on the car or anything, because you're not getting it on the car. The car's in this area. But just paint it on there. You can flip it over, and you can see it starting to seep through in spots. See how it's discolored right there at the top, and it's starting to discolor down here at the bottom. And it doesn't take long. You can keep doing it, or you can just get it nice and saturated, which is what I'm going to do. Set it down. Close this up so I don't knock it over and spill it. Flip it back over. You can see it's starting to change the color where the glue and everything is. Once it starts that, just give it a gentle tug, and a lot of times it will come right off. See, right there. Just work it really gently, especially if you're going to reuse it. And in a second it'll come all the way off. As you can see, it did very minimal damage to the, and you see how wet it is in there. You thought it didn't get wet, it gets wet in there. But it's got very minimal damage to that, and see, it'll actually cover it back up once I put that back on. So that's how you get them out. And then I will have the finished product right there. Like I said, I'll have the jack on here probably with it jacked up, or try to make something that looks like a box or a couple jack stands, something along that lines. And then I've got the tire rack I'll do something with and all that stuff. So that's the plans. So now I need to get a measurement and cut this for the bottom, and I'm not going to cut it exactly with the angled bottoms and everything. Just going to cut a strip, and I may try to snip it. I don't know. We'll have to see how it fits when I get there. But that's the plan. Now you get a visualization of my nutty head, what I've got going on and what I'm thinking about doing. So let's get that cut. Get all this goodness out of the way. Just so I can transfer this over to the foam board. And I'm not going to make this extraordinarily tight, because if I do, it will not want to go together and stuff. So let's see what we have here. We have 3 and 5/8. So I'm actually going to cut it back a good 1/8 of an inch. So give me 3 1/2. We'll start with that. And for all you people out there that don't know, the old way of doing it like this is incorrect. The way you're supposed to do it, if you take drafting or anything like that, is that needs to be colored in solid, like such. Making blueprints or anything, it will never be the lines that I showed you. It'll always be like that. A professional one will. Now let's see if this circle's long enough to measure this, which it is not. So now, a way to extend your ruler, wish life was like this, painter's tape. Put it on there like you did before, find out where it's at, 12 inches, and just put you a piece of tape right about where that falls, right? Put it up there, mark the 12 inches on the tape, like so, and now you can start from there. Boom, 12 inches right there. So we got another 3 5/8. Imagine that. What's left is the same as the width, 3 5/8. So we are going to get, so 3 plus the 12 is 15 and 5/8, so we're going to go 15 and a half. Now let's get the foam board and get it cut. We no longer need this. As you can see, foam board, black. Now I have a little plan for this. I don't know if I'm going to use it, if it's going to work, but we'll see. I'll be right back. Let me get this cut. Alright. Now yes, this is too long, I know it, but I want to check the width, and the width seems like it's going to work out pretty good. So, let's go there. Now I'll just mark it like so. Ah, helps have lead on it, dummy. Give me my straight line. And I know to stay in off of that just a little bit. GoPro, stop recording. Or don't. Alright, got it lined up with that, got it lined up with that. Now we just put a straight edge. And I want to stay off about 1/8 of an inch. You can just eyeball it. You don't have to be exactly 100% with this. Score it. This stuff reminds me of cutting sheetrock back in the day. You cut through it, and then it just folds over like sheetrock. And then you fold it in half, and you just score the back of it. And then snap it. Pretty cool. So now we have that. Make sure it's going to fit. Yep, that fits nicely. Now I'm just halfway cut the corners off. Nothing big deal. Don't have to go a lot even. I mean, I could use a pair of scissors for this probably. Just going to eyeball it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Because if I do this right, ain't nobody going to be looking at that anyway. Nice clean cuts. I'll take a file of these and file it, make it cleaner cut. And there is the 4 corners. Shouldn't need that anymore. Very, very close to what I need. And see, now that crack is gone. It's disappeared. Where is it? Right here. Put that in the back. Now it's gone. Where'd it go? I don't know. But again, here's the idea. Just so you know. The wheels. Maybe the body of the car or something right there. The interior. Glass kind of like that. Or since it's going to have a back, I'll put that there, that there. Right there, something like that, and then the finished car. Boom. Kind of like an assembly, and I'll have the tool and all that stuff in there. So, that's the idea. Now let's get the back cut. Alright, for this I'm just going to use a tape measure. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly down to the back of it, I mean to the top of it. I don't care if it's up some, just so it's covering the back. So I'm going to assume this goes all the way down. We're going to make the same drawing. But this time we're going to have a starting point. We want to go from there to there. Right? From right there to right there. And then we're going to have this. And like I said, this is 3/4 of an inch, right? Tight is 5/8. So we're going to make it, we're going to bring it up 3/4. So 3/4 of an inch is our starting point. So if we go to the bottom of the round, and this has a rounded top, so we can't go all the way up, we can only go to the flat part. So if we go only to the flat part, that gives us 3 1/4 would be tight. Okay, so 3 1/4, right? Take off 3/4 of an inch. Minus 1/4 would be 3. 2/4 would be 2 3/4. 3/4 would be 2 1/2. So this needs to be 2 1/2 inches tall. Now the width, whatever this is, and it will be, go to there, 15 1/8. 15 1/8. And like I said, this is going to be this way. Right. So let me get that cut. That's going to be white. I'll be right back. Alright, now we're going to cut it to length. It's going to be right there. Square it up. Set the side away for a second. That is about 5 inches. Yep, 5 inches. Make another mark at 5 inches. Back. I'm going to cut another piece or file this down because you can see how raggedy it is, but I just want to check the fitment. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to work perfect. So we got that cut. Let's move on to the next part. Alright, we've got our back end. It's curled, but that isn't going to matter when we get everything finished up. We got to put it up here so we can paint it. So let's take a couple pieces of tape, painter's tape, and put it up there. Hopefully it doesn't pull the paint off when we're done. Now what I did was I took and just cut out the channel logo, just real rough, and it doesn't matter how it really looks. It goes on like that. We're going to tape it on there, and then we're going to lightly mist around the edges of it, and then we may take this and put it over on the sides. I kind of doubt it, but I do know that we're going to do this, and I don't know if I'm going to do the middle or not. I may, but we're just going to kind of center this. It doesn't matter if it's cockeyed or not, because the finish we want it to look like it was just sprayed on the, hand sprayed on the wall. So let's get this taped up here now. Doesn't matter if it's in the center, doesn't matter. I don't even care. Whoop, I think it'll work. Gotta have it all on there, dummy. Something like right there. I don't even care if it actually sprays up underneath as we do it, but I do want the O and the D and the A to have a little bit of a dot in it. So all we have to do is take the painter's tape, tear off a little piece, and put it in the middle, just like so. Then when we peel that off, that will be a section of red. Real bright, vibrant red, because all this is going to be black. But the more I think about it, the more I do not want this on here. So we're just going to lightly tape it up like that. I think that will actually look better because this is going to be a wall in the paint shop. Now we just need to mix up our paint. And what we're using is, I just went and got some cheap paint at Walmart. It's multi-surface, but it's satin black acrylic. And we're going to mix that with the magic solution at 50-50 rate and put it in the air gun and paint it. Alright, now we're just going to take it, fill it up about halfway with black. After shaking it up good, of course. Really don't even have to go halfway, that should be enough. And we're going to take our magic mix solution and put about the same amount in it. That should be fairly close. This acrylic paint is pretty thin to start with. Now all we need to do is put the lid back on it and shake it up really good. That way it'll be ready for the airbrush. Now we have to do is put some in our airbrush and we are ready to go. Then we have to adjust the air pressure because we don't need a lot of air pressure for this. You're really not going to need that much paint. But I've got my gun filled up over halfway. Since we're in the house, we're going to put the cap on it to prevent any accidental spills. Now we'll turn the air compressor on and adjust pressure. Yeah, that's going to work real good because I don't need a lot of pressure. Matter of fact, I'm going to run my stop in so I don't go too far with it. Yeah, right there, that ought to do fine. So let's go ahead and start lightly dusting it. And you just use your own discretion on how dark you want it. And you can actually use the air to help dry it. And if you want it darker, by all means go over it some more. And really what it's going to look like is it's going to give the impression that it was a red wall and they painted over it with black, and you're going to have some bleed through and stuff. You know, it's just natural. But make it as dark as you want. Set the air compressor over to the side. Pull this off. And now you can kind of see the rhyme to the reason. And now what we're going to do is do the outline of the bow tie. I don't know if I want to use that one. I want to use that one. But I'm going to have to adjust the tape, so be right back. And we're just going to hold it up here, kind of eyeball it like we did. We're just going to go around the outside edges of it. Yeah, we're not looking for perfection. We just want it on the wall. Matter of fact, I like the way that looks so good. I'm going to put one on the other side. So let's do it over here. And that's all there is to painting that. It's that simple. Now the hard part is cleaning everything up. We gotta clean all this mess up, clean the paintbrush out and everything else. But now we have the backdrop for the channel, the artwork, the car. So let's get this tape off and see what that looks like under it. Now we gotta get the tape off. Now you can see the madness to my design, right? But the color is just a little bit too crisp. The red in between everything, so we're gonna take care of that as soon as I get this last piece of tape off. We're gonna hold back on the airbrush just a little bit, hold it back, and just lightly mist. That's all we're gonna do. Make sure everything is still spraying okay. Yep, and just lightly mist it. In fact, we're going to lightly mist the whole thing now. And that just makes it look that much better. Look how good that looks now. Now I'm going to take some paint and touch up that, or I'm going to try to scrape that black off. I don't know which. Let's see how scraping goes. Oh yeah, scraping is working real good. Oh yeah, that's perfect right there. Alright, here we go. Turned out pretty nice, if I do say so myself. So now what we're going to do is try to attach this to the back wall of the display. And it will look something like this. I'm going to try to use some double-sided tape. If that doesn't work, I will have to use some hot glue. So let's hope this works. Stuff is super sticky, I know that. I am going into this assuming that it's not going to work, so I've got it turned the way it needs to go. Go up to the rolled part of the glass and just stick it down and see if it works. Look at that. So far it's working pretty dang slick. Like I said, it just looks like somebody went in and took a air gun and spray painted the walls with the channel logo. That's how I wanted it to look. I didn't want it to look all crisp and everything. So let's set this over to the side and start working on the bottom. Let's see, I need my parts. Like I said, we're going to be using this stuff, so let's get it cracked open. Don't know how all this is going to turn out. Just something I was trying. Something different, you know. I don't do dioramas, but I wanted to do something like in the range of how the Hot Wheels are made video. And this is pretty much showing just that. It's showing the Hot Wheels in each individual step. So, let's throw all this away. Try to keep our area nice and neat. I hate working in a mess. But we had the finished car, which will be sitting over here something like this. Then we have the body, which will be something like so. Then the glass, the interior, and the chassis that is being worked on. So we have the shop light that needs to go somewhere. We have the shop light, the roll around cart, the tire rack, If I can get that out, I'll get that out in a second. Air compressor, which bounced way over there. Roll around tool cart, roll around crawler. The jack. And the wheel cart. And it's a shame those wheels won't come off. I need some wheels. That's what we have. So I figured move that over there a little bit like that, more. Glue that. Glue that. That there. Maybe something like that. Roll around tool cart. Shop light. The creeper. With the air compressor. Over next to the tire. Something like that. What do you guys think? I'm going to try to hot glue it down. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're going to give it a shot. And then of course we have the actual wheels that's going on the car, which is what I'm going to put right here at the front. Take this, put it back here at the back like so. That way it looks like it's jacked up. They're working on the front end to put the wheels in it. And then this is the final assembly for the interior before going in the body and paint. So that's the plan that I have. Let's try to make it work. Alright, first thing I want to do is try to glue this down. Get that in place. I'm trying to keep those hairs off of it that comes up when you hot glue something. Okay. You won't be able to see that from the front. Now I want to hot glue this to it. Like so. A little dab on the creeper. Air compressor. Put some on the axle, and the axle will actually hold it in place. Let that cool for just a second and then drop it down. Now I just need a dab on the back corners of the windshield. Just like so. Get that hair off of there. It's the only thing I hate about using hot glue. Those daggum strands that get stuck behind. They get everywhere, all over everything. Worse than a spider web. Alright, now we need to do the light. I'm going to say that I can put one dot right in the middle. Now I want to do the roll cart. Just one little dot on the back corner. Whoa, I said a little. Stick it in place. Now we need to do the interior. And I think all that's left is the body and the car. Put that on the front and the rear. Let that sit for just a minute. Then we'll put 2 dots on the finished car and that should be it. Alright, so I'm going to put a dot on 2 tires. That one and that one. And then just take it and plant it. And let it sit there for a minute. That should be it. Now all we have to do is shine it up a little bit. Set it on the base. Double check the back. Make sure it's not coming off, which it is not. Shine it up just a hair. And put the finishing touches on it. But there you go. Old Man Diecast garage. I wish I'd have took the back wall down just a little bit further. That way it met the floor, but you know, oh well. Can't be perfect all the time. But that's how it looks. I think it turned out really, really super great. What do you guys think? A lot of fun doing it. I appreciate everybody watching. And now let's get on to some more custom builds. This one will go up on my shelf somewhere. And I think it just turned out really, really cool. What do you guys think? Leave your comments as always below. What would you have done different? What do you like? What do you not like? And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you all so very much for watching.
Getting back home, you only